Let's bring the reckoning. Has been slain. Has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Triple kill.
How we doing today, folks? My name is Raven, and welcome to How to Play Revenant in Paragon the Overprime. At the time of recording this video, I am currently ranked Diamond 2 in the top 40 of North America with over 2 days played and about a 70% win rate on Revenant. Here are some of my in-game stats. I will try to keep this video clear and concise, given the fact that as the game progresses and patches come through, items and hero stats will vary along the way, which means I will be updating you if a patch significantly changes something about Revenant. But this video should serve as a good all-around look at the character. I will leave timestamps in the description below for the sections I will be covering: Revenant's role in the team, abilities, item builds, ability progression, early game, laning phase, late game, and I'll end it with some tips and tricks. Revenant is classified as a ranger. This means that a majority of the damage you will be dealing throughout the game comes from your basic/auto attacks. Rangers are also typically referred to as ADCs, or attack damage carries. Rangers start the game weak and need to be carried into the late game by their team, at which point you will be carrying the team with how much damage you will be dealing. Rangers are typically played in the duo lane with a support hero. However, this does not mean it is the only lane you can play a ranger in. You can find success with Revenant in either solo or mid lane, depending on the heroes on the other team. You might directly have an advantage in solo lane because heroes typically play there are melee, but if you fail to get ahead of your lane opponent and the other team, you will be useless later on because you don't offer any team-oriented abilities. Revenant's first ability, Q, is Storm of Bullets. Fire a flurry of 10 projectiles that deal physical damage. These projectiles do not prioritize heroes and will randomly target any enemy, including jungle creeps and minions. Revenant's second ability, E, is Vital Wound. Send a projectile that locks onto any hero you choose. This ability applies reduced healing, commonly known as anti-heal, to the target. When Revenant auto-attacks the affected target, they are slowed for 1 second per attack and are dealt true damage equal to up to 2% at max level of the hero's max health. The slow percentage also increases per level. Revenant's third ability, Right Click, is Mortal Shot. If you actively use the ability, it will make Revenant reload his gun. This ability also has a passive component. Your force shot will deal bonus physical damage up to 70% of your current physical damage at max level, meaning you will always want to land your force shot because it is the strongest of your auto attacks. Revenant's fourth ability, R, is Abysmal Prison. Cast this ability on an enemy hero to teleport each other to a different world for 6 seconds, increases with each level. The enemy will be rooted for 1.5 seconds and receive true damage equal to 10% of the target's current health. If you kill the enemy hero in this realm, you will gain 100 bonus gold. As of right now, the meta for starting items in lane starts with Green Gem or Decima Gemstone of Fortitude. This gives you a shield which will allow you to trade damage in lane, but falls off quickly as you level up. Then you can either buy 2 health pots and a ward, or just buy the refillable pot. With Revenant, you aren't going to be worried about attacking faster. You're worried about not missing your 4 shots. This means you want to maximize damage and critical strike chance first. Save your gold until you can buy Giant's Dagger for 1200. If you are losing or not farming as well, you can always pick up Plasma Cutter for 800. The first item you will build is Treasured Sword of the Kingdom. This is the biggest power spike to start, giving you 70 physical power and 20% critical strike chance. The passive on this item increases your crit damage by 25% if you have at least 50% crit chance. After you finish this item, you're going to want to buy 2 Sword of Convictions. These give you 15% crit chance each, meaning now you will have 50% crit chance and obtain the passive of Treasured Sword. Now you will start dealing some high damage, especially if you are ahead in gold and XP. The optimal build path from here is to get Sitar Chainsaw. Once built, you will start shredding through the current meta tank builds. Following that, you will get emergency treatment for lifesteal. Next, you want to finish your crit items and get Fanatic's Dessert and Holy Relic of Osni. Fanatics will give you a life-saving shield once your health falls below 30%. Holy Relic gives you some magic armor and allows you to activate it to break CC that has affected you. Which means if you get hit with a stun, activate the item to break free from it and gain a short movement speed buff. Finish the build by selling your green gem and building Superior Immunity Booster. This gives you some health, flat armor penetration, and a spell shield which comes in handy. This is the build I commonly use in Diamond competitive games, and I have crit upwards of 1800 damage on my 4th shot once I've obtained all 6 items, and I'm at level 18. If you want to have a more fun build, or the enemy team doesn't have a tank, use this build instead. Start with your usual Treasured Sword and 2 Swords of Conviction. Then, build Emergency Treatment. After that, you're going to want to build Fanatic's Dessert and Electric Stone. Once you have those 4 items finished and you are level 13, you will have Instant Reload. What I mean by this is when you activate the right click to reload, Revenant will reload in about half a second. This is because you will have 1.8 attack speed. If you build attack speed, then it will decrease your reload time. Not the meta build, but I have used this in competitive as well.
Let's go. Gonna take time.
For abilities, you start with your reload already, which means you also get its passive of increased damage on your 4th shot. So level up your Q, then at level 2, get your E. Upgrade your ultimate at level 6, 11, and 16. Maximize upgrading your right click first, then Q, and then finally E. Right click is the most consistent damage you will get out of his kit currently. Q is too unreliable and doesn't do enough damage to warrant upgrading it first. E provides good utility, but isn't worth upgrading over the other 2. During the laning phase, which doesn't really have a time on it because it's more worthwhile to rotate whenever you get the chance, just focus on getting your last hits to maximize your gold gain. Take the opportunities when possible to poke your lane opponents or jump in when you get a gank from your jungler. If your lane is pushed up, then grab the purple buff on the side by the teleporter for some extra gold. Revenant can catch someone off guard with how much damage his auto attacks do early. Understand though that your 4th shot will not execute minions in the beginning. For whatever reason, it doesn't do enough damage to them. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but once you grab a giant stagger, you should be fine. For this reason, I tend to use my 4th shot to poke my lane opponents or reload often so I'm not using my 4th shot to last hit a minion. I also use my ult early to try and secure kills when an enemy is about to die. You might look like you're trolling your team by just ulting someone when they're almost dead, but you're the one laughing when you cash in on that extra 100 gold. Or I'll use it defensively if I can accurately use it on maybe the support when I get ganked. In late game, you want to do your best to stand behind your team because positioning is key for him. You don't have any dashes or escapes. The only thing you have for self-peel is your ultimate, which, if you're using it because you got caught out of position, then you're only harming your team by not having you in a team fight. Late game, I try to only use it to stop someone on the other team from using Smite, pull a hero out of a team fight like Muriel, Narbash, or even Gideon, or to secure a kill while a hero is trying to escape, then using the extra time to reposition myself, so when I come out of my ult, maybe I'm flanking the enemy team now. Just whatever you do, don't use it to initiate a fight when someone is at full health. The exception there is really when you're trying to stop someone from smiting the Prime Guardian. If you ult a Gideon while they are ulting, then your team caught in the Gideon's ult will still get pulled, but they won't be taking any of the damage from it. Keep little things like that in mind. Other than that, like I already said, make your shots count. Revenant is the one ADC who is unique from the others. He can auto attack up to 4 times before he is required to reload his gun, indicated by the 4 curved lines that surround his crosshair. Currently, no other ADC has this reload feature. Because of this, the speed at which his auto attacks are fired is locked at about 2 auto attacks a second. To put it into a different perspective, building attack speed does not make Revenant auto attack faster. If you have 2.0 attack speed on a different ADC, like Murdoch, then Murdoch will auto attack twice every second. This gives Revenant an auto attack speed advantage in the beginning of the game, but it does leave you open when you reload. As I said before, make your shots count, because in late game, the other ADCs will be attacking much faster than him, and they don't have to reload. If you want to reduce your reload times throughout the whole game, then try this. As soon as you fire your force shot, you can animation cancel the delay that Revenant has before he reloads automatically. Just right click immediately after firing the force shot to begin the reload. As shown in this example, there is a clear difference between the two. It does take some practice, so keep working at it. There are times where I even mess up, and it's usually in the middle of a team fight. When that happens, I'm usually hitting right click before I fire the force shot, which makes it so I can't manually input the reload after. The game will prompt you that the ability is on cooldown. Continuing the reload trend, there's another way to cancel the animation. If your Q is off cooldown, meaning you can activate it, then try hitting right click to reload and then immediately activate your Q. Once your Q is finished casting, Revenant's gun will already be reloaded and ready to fire. Your ultimate can be cancelled mid-cast if you're hit by a hard CC like a stun or a knockup. While you are in your ultimate, you can track the other heroes. They will appear as a faint cloud of smoke, whether friendly or not. Other heroes can also body block you, even though you are in a different realm. This also means things like Aurora's Ice Wall can block your movement even though you can't see it. You can also dive heroes under tower. Once in your ultimate, enemy towers will not target you or damage you. This also applies if you ult an enemy under your tower, they will not take damage from it. Revenant's Q is strange. In a group of minions and heroes, it will scatter and target things randomly. To maximize your damage, wait until there are no minions or other heroes around. In your ultimate, all the projectiles from Q will hit your target. If you activate your Q and a hero walks into a bush, your Q will stop firing projectiles. It only works if you have vision on the target. I know that was a lot of information, but that about wraps it up for what I have for how to play Revenant. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'll leave a link in the description as well to my build for this on the Paragon Codex website. If you want to watch me live, I stream on Twitch at RavenGG. I'll leave that linked below as well. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.